Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back with Nuraini. So today we would like to discuss about the principle part 2. So I would like to continue the explanation about the format and presentation. So first, it's talking about the motivation. Alright. Next is about first strands. So a course should include a roughly even blend of the first strands of meaning focused input, language focused learning, meaning focused output, and fluency activities. So the first one is meaning focused input. The second one is language-focused learning. The third is meaning-focused output. And the third is fluency development. So the things that we have to focus on is talking about the meaning focus. So as much as possible that we can explain and describe the meaning of the language items that we provide. The second is talking about language-focused learning and the meaning-focused output and also the fluency development. So remember that when we create or design ELT materials or course, we have to think about the development of the students' fluency. So it can help the students to develop their fluency, especially when they speak. Well, the third is talking about comprehensible input. There should be substantial quantities of interesting, comprehensible receptive activity in both listening and reading. So you can see in the table 4.3, the first set aside a regular time in each language class for listening to a short story or a continuing story read by the teacher. Provide type story that learners can take home or listen to in class. Use quantity-based listening techniques like listening to pictures. The fourth principle is fluency. Language course should provide activities aimed at increasing the fluency with which the learners can use the language they already know, but receptively and productively. So, a great language course should provide the students activities that can help and facilitate them in using the language that they have already mastered, but receptively, like listening and also reading, so they can use as well for writing and also speaking. Next, the fifth principle, output. So the learner should be pushed to produce the language in both speaking and writing over a range of discourse times. So a great language course should help the students or the learners to produce the language in speaking and writing. So it's not only about writing, but they can use those language orally. The sixth principles, deliberate learning. So the course should include language-focused learning in the sound system, vocabulary, grammar, and discourse areas. So the learner wants to learn some part of the language system. So language focused attention, like the sound system, the spelling system, like the students have to understand and also know well how to produce the sound like and and a. It's different kinds of sound. The second about the vocabulary, the grammar system, and also the discourse patterns. The seventh principle, time on task. So as much time as possible should be spent using and focusing on second language. The eighth principle, depth of processing. So the learner should process the items to be learned as deeply and as thoughtfully as possible. Like mnemonic devices such as the use of word parts or the keyword technique, the guessing from context strategy, the use of cards with the foreign language word on one side and the first language translation on the other. So avoid assigning the students to memorize the meaning of the word or the sentences, but try to provide the strategies that can help them to understand and can use those language in real context, like in speaking and also in the writing. There are a lot of strategies that we can use when we deliver the materials, rather than we only ask the students to memorize the meaning of a word. The ninth principle, integrative motivation. The course should be presented so that the learners have the most favorable attitudes to the language, users of the language, use of the language, the teacher's skills in teaching the language, and their chance of success in learning the language. You can see in the figure 4.2 in the textbook that Mem Aini has already posted. Creating basic motivational condition, generating initial student motivation, maintaining and promoting motivation, and also encouraging positive retrospective self-evaluation. So in designing a course, we have to consider that we have a different characteristics and also individual differences that the students have. So we have to think that we need to build up their motivation by providing some activities that can alive their motivation. The 10th principle, learning style. So there should be opportunity for learners to work with the learning material in ways that most suit their individual learning style, like providing opportunities for learners to work to their strengths, by providing opportunity and training for learners to try other ways of learning. So we need to conduct a need analysis in order to know the students' learning style. So we can provide them with activities that suit with their needs and also their learning style. Next principle, monitoring. The first one is ongoing needs and environment. So the selection,